In this video, I'm going to take you backstage and share with you everything I do to get new listeners and fans for my music. Hey, it's John here at Hyped It. A question that I get a lot is, hey, John, you showed us how to launch individual ad campaigns for music, but what do you do overall? Like, what are all the things you do to get new listeners and fans for your music? So in this video, I want to take you backstage and literally show you everything that I do to get new listeners and fans for my music every day. But before we dive in, hit the subscribe and like and bell button below so that I can bring you more videos like this to help you get more fans, listeners, and streams for your music. Now, the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to my music promotion is that, in my opinion, music promotion is never for free. You just have the choice how to invest in it. You can either invest time into your music promotion, or you can invest money into music promotion, or obviously both. And let me share some examples. So let's say you don't really have a budget for music promotion, but you do have a lot of time. Then you might decide to invest more time into your music promotion. So for example, you post about your music on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, what have you. So you're essentially doing social media marketing for your music. You're using your time to create content, to post content, to engage fans in that way. That's a perfectly legitimate way to promote your music. On the flip side of that is you have very limited time, but you do have some funds, you do have some budget to invest into music promotion, which means you can get your music out there with things you're going to pay for, such as ads. When I looked at all these options, to me, I had a clear favorite. I'm in a situation where time is my most limited resource, right? With a full-time job, a family, friends, and time I want to spend making music, I virtually have no time left that I could spend in promoting my music, but I don't mind putting a budget behind my songs and spending some money in order to get my music heard. With that in mind, I'm naturally leaning towards advertisement for my music as opposed to social media marketing. But there's a second consideration here, and that is the certainty of results. With social media marketing, if you invest your time, it is uncertain how that's going to pay off in terms of fans, listeners, and streams. You may have some post that goes viral, but you may not. I know lots of artists who have invested time and energy for weeks, for months, maybe for years, investing in social media and trying to build their audiences, but they see very little result for their music. And the payoff on your time is just not guaranteed. Now, on the flip side, you have ads for your music where you invest money in order to get your music heard. There is, of course, a range of results that you can expect from a budget, and that has to do with how well your song is, if you're targeting the right audience. But there's nearly always a guaranteed result in terms of attracting fans and listeners and streams on your ad campaigns. And so that's the second reason why I'm personally much in favor of advertisement for my music. Now, with that out of the way, my goal was to build a system that allows me to apply my music budget in both an effective and efficient way. That means I want the biggest results for my buck, and I want to spend the least brain power and time on setting it up. Ideally, I just want to click a button, forget about it, and have it all happen automatically. And so because that's what I want, there's literally just one tool that I use to promote my music, and that's Hyped It's ad automation. Now, your first reaction might be, John, you're just saying that because this is a tool that you helped build. And the truth is, yes, I did, but that's exactly why I trust it, all right? I eat what I cook. I eat my own food. I know exactly what's in it, and I trust it. I'm getting real fans, I'm getting real listeners, I'm getting real streams. I know those are sticky fans, fans that come back to my music over and over, and that's exactly what I want. And the proof, of course, is in the numbers. If I come over here to Spotify for Artists and I show you my This Is John Gold playlist, which I've shared before, and this is where I send the majority of my traffic, you can see that 2,700 listeners have translated over the last 28 days here into 24,700 streams. That's about 9 streams per listener, which means those listeners, those fans, they are really sticky. They don't just listen to half a song and then leave and listen to some other music. No, they listen to my music over and over again, or another song and another song and another song. And this is what helps you accelerate your numbers, and it's sending all these positive signals to Spotify that then eventually trigger radio, trigger Discover Weekly, and just help with the algorithmic playlists. But let's go back to Hyped It here. I've shared other videos where I've shown you how to create a single music ad automation campaign. But what I want to do in this video here is I want to go into the structure of how I'm stacking these campaigns. Running one and possibly your first fan promotion campaign is a great way to start. But to get the biggest bang for my buck, I've built a stack of campaigns, a very specific structure that I use to run multiple of these campaigns in order to maximize my results. And the concept I use is very simple. There are really just two rules to it. The first one is always feed your Spotify playlist with your best performing track. And the second rule is always feed your Spotify profile with your most popular track. So let me dive in a little bit deeper to explain exactly what I do. So first rule I said, always feed your Spotify playlist with your best performing track. What I mean by that? So if I come over here into Spotify for Artists, you see that I have this playlist. This is John Gold. All right, this is a playlist that I made. This is not a playlist that Spotify made for me. And just as a side note, Spotify actually just this week gave me an official This is John Gold playlist. So I will have to rename this and probably call it Best of John Gold or John Gold Essentials. But that's beside the point. What you want to have is a playlist that has only your music on it. All right, let me click on it here and bring you over so you can have a look at this playlist. This is what this looks like, right? All my music on this playlist, and I'm the creator of this playlist. I made this. This playlist is the key to multiplying listeners into as many streams as possible. So that is one of the primary destinations where I want to send my ad traffic. And the traffic that goes to this playlist should be the traffic of your best performing track. Let me explain what that means. Hopping back into Hyped It here. You can see that I have a total of 4 campaigns that are running right now. And these campaigns have run for a long time and they are running at various different budgets per day. Historically, one of the best performing tracks that I've had was this one, Back to Me. You can see that this currently converts at 29 cents cost per click. So for a long time, this was my baseline. This was the best performing track. I didn't have other tracks that performed at that level. And that's why the biggest campaign that I've running here and the one that's been live the longest is this Grow My Spotify Playlist campaign for this track, which obviously goes to the This is John Gold playlist. But it so happened that my last 2 releases are now runner-ups and actually performing better. So you see this campaign here, A Little Bit of Love, and this one, Beat on My Heart. Both of these are newer campaigns. They're my last 2 releases. They both came out this year. And Little Bit of Love is currently converting at 23 cents. And Beat on My Heart is converting at 19 cents. And in line with that, the engagement rate is also the highest. So if I go here to Beat on My Heart, I have almost a 60% engagement rate. So this song really, really works extremely well in the ad campaigns. And so what I've done is I've taken budget away from my previously best performing song, and I'm slowly shifting it into these better performing songs. And I'll give it a few more days, and if this picture continues, then this campaign will completely go away because I want to feed my playlist with the best performing song. And right now, these 2 here are the best performing songs. And to take that a step further, if Little Bit of Love continues to underperform Beat on My Heart, the budget will also flow from this one here into Beat on My Heart, so that it is the best performing track that continuously feeds the playlist. This is how I'm getting the biggest bang for my buck, right? I'm using the budget that I have, which is a fixed budget, and I'm shifting it towards the songs and the campaigns that give me the lowest cost per conversion and the highest engagement. That way, every dollar I invest gives me more listeners, more fans, and more streams. That's it for rule number 1. But now let's revisit rule number 2. Feed your Spotify profile with your most popular track. So what does that mean? In order to grow Spotify fans and have your followers just, grow like this, day after day after day, you have more followers. You want to run a campaign that sends listener traffic directly to your Spotify profile. And in Hyped It, I'm running a Grow My Spotify Artist Profile campaign for Back to Me. Now, why am I running this for Back to Me and not for one of these other tracks if I know these are the better performing tracks at the moment? The reason is that this campaign is the most effective if you use your track that Spotify shows as your most popular one. So let me hop over to my artist profile here. And you see that Back to Me is shown as the most popular track. Beat of My Heart is now a runner-up. So in a matter of weeks, these two might have switched places, in which case I'll have to go into Hyped It and I have to launch a new campaign to grow my Spotify profile with Beat of My Heart. But when you launch one of these campaigns, you want to make sure that you're promoting your most popular track. And the reason you're doing this is that you want fans to discover a song in your ad campaign that's automatically the first one that they see when they come over to your Spotify profile. And in this case, it's back to me because Spotify put this in the first position. Now, let me go back into Hyped It here and touch on one last topic, which could be kind of like my rule number 3, which is always test a new release. All right. So what you've seen here and what I've shown you here is that I'm currently transitioning from what has been historically my best performing track to 2 newer tracks that are now better performing. So this one will go away. These ones will get all the budget, and a winner will be picked between those 2. At the same time, though, I have new releases coming. So when a new release drops, I'm going to launch a new campaign for that, which is also going to be a Grow My Spotify playlist campaign at a small budget. And I'm going to let this run for 30 days. I'm going to see how does it perform. Does it underperform my best performing campaign? If it does, I'm going to fade it out. If it outperforms, I'm going to shift the budget over there. That way, I get to test every new release to see whether that is a new best performing track that will then get all the budget to grow my Spotify playlist. All right, so I hope that makes sense. This is the structure that you see here. There are multiple tracks competing for the position of best performing track to feed the playlist, and the most popular track is feeding my artist profile. And that's how if I build a stack of promotion campaigns that give me the most streams, the most listeners, the most fans for my budget, while only requiring minimal time and oversight. Not just because Hyped It automates a lot of the promotion process, but also because it's very simple to manage. I literally probably spend between 5 to 10 minutes a week just checking all these campaigns here every once in a while, making sure they're all performing well. And then when I have a new release, it's an extra 5 minutes to launch a new campaign. Super simple system, and something that has helped me to grow my music from practically 0 to now tens of thousands of listeners, tens of thousands of fans, and millions of streams. And that's it. I've taken you backstage. I've shown you everything I do to get new listeners and fans to my music. There are other things I do with email marketing and what have you, but that's to an existing audience of fans. When it comes to getting my music heard and growing a new audience, grow new listeners, grow new fans, this is everything I do. And now I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how you are building your stack of promo campaigns. Just leave a comment below. Can't wait to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers. Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.